and he brought his brother Peter to Jesus. They knew Jesus. They had met Jesus. They had observed the miracles that he had done. But now Jesus is calling them to a full commitment of discipleship. Knowing Jesus, immediately upon his call to them, they left their fishing, their nets, to follow Jesus. Notice James and John with their father Zebedee. Jesus later sort of nicknamed them the sons of thunder. But they had hired servants. They left their father with the hired servants. So they evidently came from a well-to-do background. And so they came into Capernaum, which of course is where Peter was living, there in Capernaum. And immediately on the Sabbath day, he entered into the synagogue and taught. And they were astonished at his doctrine, for he taught them as one that had authority and not as the scribes. Now, when the scribes would teach the people, express an opinion as their own, they would say, now, Rabbi Hillel says of this, that it means this or that or the other. And they were always quoting other rabbis. They would never just say flat out, now this is what the Lord is saying to us. They never would speak with authority. They would always, in their teaching, just quote the other ideas, the other thoughts, the other rabbis, and what they thought this might have meant. Thus, when Jesus came, he spoke with authority. We remember in the Sermon on the Mount, he said, you've heard that it hath been said by those of old time, thou shalt not kill. But I say unto you, and he spoke with authority. And they marveled at this kind of teaching. They weren't used to this kind of teaching. They weren't used to someone speaking with authority concerning the Word of God. And so they were astonished at his teaching, because it wasn't as they were used to hearing, but he spoke to them and he taught them with real authority. And there was in their synagogue a man with an unclean spirit, and he cried out, saying, let us alone. What have we to do with thee, thou Jesus of Nazareth? Are you come to destroy us? I know thee whom thou art, the Holy One of God. James, in his epistle, said, you say you believe in God? So what? That doesn't make you a Christian. That doesn't make you saved. For the devils believe, and they fear and tremble before him. So just believing in God really doesn't bring you salvation, which many people are mistaken in that. They say, well, I'm not an atheist. I believe in God. But that isn't salvation. That's just proving you're not a fool. For it is the fool that has said in his heart, there is no God. So you say you believe in God, then I believe you're not a fool. But it doesn't mean you're saved. Salvation comes by believing into a vital relationship with Jesus Christ, a life-changing relationship with Jesus Christ. That whosoever believeth into him, into this vital, life-changing relationship with him, shall not perish but have everlasting life. Now, this demon crying out said, I know thee whom thou art. You're the Holy One of God. What are you doing? You're coming to destroy us? He recognized the power of Jesus. He acclaimed Jesus to be the Son of God, but he wasn't saved. It is possible for you to recognize the power of Jesus and acclaim that Jesus was the Son of God and still not be saved. Salvation is a life-changing experience as you believe into this relationship with Jesus Christ. And when the unclean spirit had torn him and cried with a loud voice, well, Jesus rebuked him, saying, "Hold thy peace and come out of him," speaking with authority to the demon. And so when the demon had torn him and cried with a loud voice, he came out of him. Mark makes mention of many cases of exorcism by Jesus, demonstrating the power that Jesus had over these unclean spirits or demons. We'll talk about that further when we get to the 5th chapter in the man of Gadara. And they were all amazed, insomuch that they questioned among themselves, saying, "What thing is this? What new doctrine is this? For with authority he commands even the unclean spirits, and they do obey him." And immediately his fame spread abroad throughout all the region round about Galilee. So suddenly around the area of Galilee, there's a buzz. Jesus of Nazareth, things that he is doing, the things that he is saying. And forthwith, when they were come out of the synagogue, they entered into the house of Simon and Andrew with James and John. So Simon and Andrew had a home there in Capernaum. But Simon's wife's mother lay sick of a fever, and so they told him about her. And he came and took her by the hand and lifted her up, and immediately the fever left her, and she ministered unto them. That is, she fixed them dinner. And at even, when the sun did set, they brought unto him all that were diseased and those that were possessed with demons. Not devils, plural, because there's only one devil. The word in Greek is the word translated demons. And all of the city was gathered together at the door. And he healed many that were sick of different types of diseases. He cast out many demons, and he did not allow the demons to speak because they knew him. A busy day. The beginning of the ministry of Jesus started out in the morning with this man with an unclean spirit as Jesus was teaching in the synagogue. And this man with an unclean spirit crying out and being cured. All day long they began to bring people to him to be healed. On into the evening hours, how late we don't know.